故事绝不草率收场，选择没有对错，只是展开新的视角和故事。本作是爱情故事，重点应该是这个吧。OK， 确认一下有声音。等一下。OK。新游戏，第一章：勇士与公主。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
公主在森林里。
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
杀死地牢里的公主。探究。
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
是这种模式的。旁白，这是你们到目前为止的剧情进度设定。
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
他说，只有虚无主义或邪恶到不行的人才会希望世界灭亡，但想必你不是其中一员，对吧？世界会灭亡要说什么？你想过公主毁灭世界是因为你囚禁她吗？杀死公主并不是善良之举，不能由其他人来做这件事吗？做这件事有奖赏吗？好，谢谢你告诉我。
While I appreciate the mental exercise step, and before you decide to waste even more of our time,
我错过上一句，等一下啊。公主被囚禁是因为她很危险，她目前无害是因为她被囚禁。为了避免你浪费更多时间询问为什么，请容我提议较为实际的观点。
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point.
公主只要离开木屋，
If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
发布任务的人的身份是什么？不能由其他人来完成。
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off.
规则不
I
是他
don't
定
make the rules. I wish I did.
他们是委托人。杀死公主似乎并不是善良之
Does
举。
it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or
他
a
在跟我
seamstress?
他在跟我诡辩
If。anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
我问他的问题是杀死公主看起来并不道德，他跟我说杀死公主比杀死裁缝师更有道德，但是问题是杀死公主还是不道德的事。
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
他这个
You
世
have
界
to
的
put
概念
an
是
end to her.
他说很急，对不对？好，
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of
进
warning.
去跟公主
If
谈一
you go
谈。
in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
他说公主可以骗你。
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
英勇的声音，这又是谁？
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
只有一个可以选。我可以偷点别的东西吗？这视觉效果好有趣哦。谁开的门？
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
对，
The air is
不说
stale and
跟
musty,
离手。
and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
只有身上有匕首才能杀死公主。OK，
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the
声音变
princess
了
and，save
刚
the
刚原本
world
还有轻松
without
的
it.
音乐，在拿起匕首的那一瞬间，音乐变了。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below.
他一直在暗
This
示
is
我
an
们杀掉公
oppressive
主。
place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
公主声音比我想象中的成熟。
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
英勇的声音到底是谁啊？
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
继续下楼。
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
另外一边他挣脱了。
She's so coldly beautiful.
Coldly beautiful 是
Is she
怎样？
really a threat to the world?
冷艳高贵。
Focus on the task at hand.
这个英勇的声音不是我们。
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
something， 我选择 something。我是来和你谈话。
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it?
为
And
什么
then
你
we
拿着
can
刀
chat.
子？放下刀子再谈事吧。
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
残酷地杀掉一个人，并不是我们的作风。本作是爱情故事，所以我选择握得更紧。
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your
我们不是要
resolve.
上前吗？为什么我们不是要谈话吗？为什么我要上前？
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
我觉得很有趣的是，我现在手这个花束鼠标变成拿着匕首的样子。酷，
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
不要。你确定公主没有武器？抱歉，我们能谈谈吗？我不会放下匕首，丢下匕首，送公主上路。这三个探究是跟旁白讲话，这个下面这三个是跟公主互动。我选择跟公主互动。
Then I'm not talking to you.
哦，来这招是不是？
I guess we are.
好，吉，我们现在进入僵局。我想我们确实是，但你现在跟我谈话啊。
For the love of everything, just slay her already.
不要，
Or drop the blade. Do something.
不要，我就出张嘴，你想怎样？
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
先下手为强，丢下匕首哦，他强制我只能选择其中一个。丢下匕首，如果我想要继续就只能丢下匕首，那就没办法。
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
哎呦，公主很杀哦。
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the
违背理
princess
智，向
face
前与
to
公主直
face,
接交谈，并且手无寸铁。
unarmed.
所以只要我丢下匕首，我就会被强制的被拉到公主前面跟她对话。
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
你无法与公主讲道理，
Just make sure you don't forget about the
你
blade
需要
on
武
the
器。
floor. You're going to need it.
公主的眼睛也太大吧？你是少女漫画出来的公主，
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
开端怪异的缘分。我们谈够了，你知道为什么我要来杀你？你在这里多久了？你叫什么名字？外面有人认为你要毁灭世界，你也要辩解吗？我来是因为你会毁灭世界，我要怎么带你离开？缘分，你在暗示什么？那你就对啊，十分怪异。你叫什么名字？
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness.
只能叫她
Oh, Her
公
Majesty.
主，我有点假。
Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
她这个时候下意识反应是看自己的手。你在这里多久了？
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
我打算把上面的问题全部问一轮。这个，你这暗示缘分是什么？
Don't jump to any weird conclusions.
相
We're
逢
two
自是
people
有
who have
缘。
met each other.
公主
By
好烦，
definition, we
老
have a
油条，
relationship.
真的好烦。我来是因为你会毁灭世界，好啊，叫大家一起打油条啊！
Don't just tell her that.
他们说不能直接告诉她，公主不知道吗？她看起来知道啊。
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
公主小姐，你的眼神看起来真是蛮像怪物的啊。
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
他说我没有提到为什么他如此危险，答案是没有。要知道我倒希望你能告诉我，但是我相信他们的隐瞒自有道理。我们宁可相信你，而不是他们。保持沉默。
They haven't told you anything, have they?
他现在占据话语的主导权。
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
他们绝口不提原因，
That doesn't sound right
说
to
到说
me.
服不了我。
And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
你也听从你的理智。
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
强硬的语气，
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
我们不了解，所以他讲什么也没有意义。这样子，
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
旁白要好，这群人
Like
都
I
好
said,
烦。
it's all about trust. Blind trust.
无条件的信任。
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
暴君，所以他的暗示公主可能会变成暴君。我要怎么带你离开？好了，我们谈够了。我们谈够了，感觉不够。选第一
You
个。
can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't,
钥匙在屋里，如果不在，
well, we can
我们可以
always
善
put
用那
that
把刀。
knife to good use.
什么意思？看见他的手吗？
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is.
这
I'm
个是
sure
我可以
of
保
it.
证。没有选项，好吧，我们谈够了。
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
选这个调查锁链，应该是最差的选项，因为这个公主看起来并不像是很无害的样子，不想再不拿着刀的情况下靠近她，所以我会选择锁着公主。
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
不错了吗？我就觉得蛮优柔寡断的。
Leaving her alive is too risky.
只是现在
Don't
情报
deal
太
with
少
her soon. She will find a way out.
我会找到方法逃脱。
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
公主已经有方法离开这里了，只是在我面前，她暂时没有表现出来，应该是这样吧。
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
OK，
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
关着。
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't.
满
No
盘
one
皆
wins
输
here.。It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
音样的声音跟旁白好像是同个人，
You're making a
不会
mistake.
铸成大错。OK，
You turn your back to the princess
哎呀，他
and
拔
make
刀
your
了。
way to the stairs.
哦，没有，是我把刀捡起来。
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
可是我也不相信公主，就像他刚刚用他自己的逻辑来说，他说我们不了解彼此，所以老实讲，他讲什么话，感觉好像是他自己选择不跟我对话的，所以我对他不够了解，不敢放他出来，也是他的问题。开始 PUA 他。
Slip these chains. She can't, right? She needed our help to
他
get
应该
out.
可以，因为他已经挣脱了半
Do you
边
hear the
锁链，
conviction in her voice?
但现在刀在我手上。
I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
然后存档。这里我要选择关着他
It'll。be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay. We can make you settle in against the far wall.
天时地利
Isn't long before you start to drift off.
睡觉
Your eyelids
刺
heavy
耳的
with
呼号
fatigue. But sleep.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
公主这是恶魔吧？哪门子公主？
This little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to look back on my good side.
门朝这边开。这时候我的做法应该是要躲在这一侧的角落，拿着刀，这样公主有什么暴动的话，我就直接吃下去。背景的敲门声是越来越大声的，好酷哦！
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
不像之前看到的公主，哪有？之前看到的公主就很吓人。好，
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
女人，给我小心一点，这样偷在我手上。我像是那个鬼店，他是那个江妮，拿那个斧头来破门。
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by
我不会忘记你怎么对待我，也不会原谅
I'll
你。
forget what you did,
哎、
and I'll never
我
forget.
选择把你放在地窖里，这样不好吗？难道我要拿刀刺你吗？
You don't know the kind of enemy
今晚树立了什么敌人 ？OK， 所以是这个时间点是晚上。
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
啊，听起来不像衰弱。
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't。尽管恐吓当然不那么受到良心的苛责，所以之前全是演技，你甚至不是天真无邪，你甚至不是公主，只是怪物。假设对方真的很有力气的话，这两句话一点用处也没有。而对方已经在强弩之末的情况下，忽视他应该是最容易让他受到打击的，所以我要继续 PUA 他。
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin.
公主那么
The
力气
ruckus
这么大
has
的吗？
stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
夫来
Where
了
is，she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
你协助我离开可憎的地窖，我怎么协助他的？
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the
踉跄着
princess
想起
draws
身，
near,
公
it's
主
as
逐
though
渐逼
your
近。
body simply stops working.
这不是噩梦吧
It？ isn't all at
吗？
once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. Whose side are you on?
一辈子。
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
你，
Lying about the facts of the situation
所以
doesn't
这个
change.
英勇的声音是
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
所以这个公主是不能接受半点恶意的存在。
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
嗯，
What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things
有成就美
together.
妙的事，
Your lungs stop drawing in
生命只
breath,
剩几秒了。
and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is
下
the
次
end,
好运。
don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
英勇的声音结局不可
I'm
是这样，
sorry, but it is.
就此结束了，
Everything goes dark, and you die.
死了。Chapter 2 The Nightmare。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
比起世界灭亡，因为我的主要角色死掉，一定是在世界灭亡之前，所以比起说世界灭亡，现在第二章真正让人感觉到威胁的是操作角色会死掉。这不是发生过吗？好吧，不要。但是我死了，我在这里干什么？他会再杀了我一遍，转身离
This is
开。
good. I was worried you'd fall for a shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there.
答案都不在这里，也不在那里。
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
旁白，我会继续杀害公主。也许我会杀她，也许不会，总是等着瞧吧。确实有地方可去。没，我不想去哪里才重要。好像我会说的话。如我所说，我很能接受世界灭亡，并乐于迎接人类灭亡后的新时代。不发一语的沿着小径远离木屋。好，我要这个。我现在是都市冷酷男子。
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
不管我说什么，旁白都会选择跟我一样的。
It looks like this path
哦，
also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved
不
after
管
all.
我选什么，应该都会来到这边吧。如果，好，
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time. aren't
一
you?
直走。
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like,
死的不能再
dies,
死。
dies. Forever.
我被强制
But fine.
进木屋吗
You？turn around and
耶，回来了
down
耶
the！path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything
旁
is
白
getting
变得模糊，配乐变呢？
What's going on? Where are we?
这什么东西啊？毛茸茸的。
It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
这什么啊？你身处的世界四分五裂，具体物质被交织的书取而代之，四周悄然无声。远处隆隆作响，那是许多声音交杂在一起的声音。随着其他的存在接近，不安的脉搏越发响亮。哦，那些触手深入了现实的结构中，四处探查，然后找到你的意识，将其包覆。你不再孤独一人。这个东西是来找我们操作的角色的。反抗，手指拖着爪子刮过你的灵魂那玻璃般的表面。不悦，你填满了这具躯壳。我需要一个空间让我爬进去，需要一个像我的形体。接纳约束你的想法。事态紧急，你有一个未完成的故事，那是我们逃离此处的唯一方式。你有一个未完成的故事，那是我们逃离此处的唯一方式。力量推挤着你的意识，你不能回去，不能回到那里。这个世界已经破碎不堪，无法修复，我们必须编织新的世界。这个地方的丝线就这么多，别浪费了。我是我们的唯一救赎。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
等一下，刚刚发生的事情，世界早就已经毁灭了。我们现在在这个场景是某个东西编织出来的世界，旁白编织出来的世界。所以我们刚刚不断否认的时候，世界才会毁灭。可能是公主出来了，可能是因为我一直否定旁白。
You're here to slay her. If you don't,
你不
it
杀
will
她，
be
世界
the
就会灭
end
亡。
of the world.
按键盘的 Tab 或控制器的Tab。我想再测试一次刚刚那个结局是什么。
Seriously? You're just... Fine. Good. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's straight. You're really keen on... Your silence is
被沉默
deafening.
道尽一切。
But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you... Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for
第一轮
superstition
旁
or
白掌控力
astrology,
比较
but
强
I have to say,
他不
it
管怎
seems
样
like the universe
都
itself
会
is
回
doing
到
its best
房
to
子。
bring you to your... There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever... And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
窗户破了，公主出来了。
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses
树
of
叶间隐约可见
familiar
熟悉的
wooden
木头建筑。
structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't
火光不只
just a
是光
trick
影的
of
把戏，
light. In every direction,
四
there
面
is
八
a
方
path,
都有小径和木
and a
屋，
cabin.
但不是任何木屋。
and not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
这个英勇的声音应该是原主人吗？
You're too stubborn for that,
Yeah, true.
aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
动物世界的命运，
You've doomed us all. You know that, right?
当然知道。
But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain
不
death.
选思路，
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone
所有人都得
dies.
死。Chapter 2: The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
这个
path
背景是什么
is
鬼
a？cabin. And in the basement
而
of
且
that cabin,
第一章
is a
的结局也太奇怪了吧！小木的地球有位公
you're
主
here to slay her.
，Slay her。
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
"沉默地前往木屋。等一下，这个
I can assure you
我可以保证
you're
你没有
not
死，
dead and that the
公
princess
主也还没
has
毁灭
yet
世
to
界
end，the
但是
world,
你不然你也不会在这
otherwise
里
you。wouldn't be here. And to answer
这
your
里是为了
question,
送公
you're
主
here
上
to
树，
slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
尽可能的交谈，获取
If he
更
doesn't
多的情
remember
报
what。happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
叛逆的声音，第三个
The
人，
entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day.
那些声音都是刚刚那些手。我们前面不是触发一个世界毁灭的结局吗？这样听起来，这些声音应该都是那刚刚我们看到那些手，他们合力架构出了这个世界。
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you
然后
can
最
pull
主要
that
是这位
off.
旁白，他定下了整个世界的大规则。
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
The world hasn't ended
下面会
yet.
但是以那种
You
心
are
态，
never
永
going
远
to
是
slay
杀
her
不
with
了
that
他。
attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
专心执行眼前的任务。选这个，你不能强迫我前往小木屋。
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods,
哦，
someone might
它这
have
个
gotten
长
lost.
线式的墙壁
Or,
是
heaven
阻
forbid,
止
someone
我
other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
前往小木屋以外所有路。这个旁白听起来也是需要对话的角色，有点麻烦。 说谎。
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am
可恶
begging you.
可以判断我在说谎。OK， 因为旁白跟我们是一体
A
的。
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
叛逆的声音，
Ignore him. He's just being difficult
应
for
有
the
的声
sake
音怎么
of
不
it.
见了？
Let's keep an open
哦，应
mind.
有声音来了。前往木屋，我能不能去？不行。
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space.
哦，好，
But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
怪诞不惊。
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths. Its material devoid of feature.
底下是虚空诶，
Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
一定会有匕首、镜
The
子。
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
有匕首才能顺利完成任务。
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet,
把刀
grab
哪有
it
什么用
and？throw it out the
不
window.
是啊，你没有
Good
刀的
as a
话
knife，against
甚
a
至没有反
world-ending
抗之力。
monstrosity anyway. No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place?
这个应用的声音
We have literally
的
no
思
idea
考
what
逻
to
辑跟我有
expect
点
and
像，
no
好烦
idea
哦，
what we're dealing with.
觉得烦躁。
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this
公主
incredibly
不会
simple
毁
and
灭世
straightforward
界。
premise? You can't just say that
这里
when
的一切
everything
都很
here
不
is
对
so
劲。
wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together.
Pull yourself together。
Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
好，
How?
冷静。
Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop
我
doing
不会
my
终止我的
job,
任务。
so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out. What you're seeing here is
看到这个
obviously
都是真
real.
的，
Just
接受现
accept
实必
it
须
and
顺
go
应
with
它
the。flow. Okay.
OK，
Okay, I'm fine. Good.
做好心理准
Whenever
备。
you're ready.
探究镜子，
We should look at it. You won't be looking at
看不到自己，
yourself
因为
because
这里
there
没有
isn't
镜
a
子，这里只有
mirror.
桌子，他
There's
放
a
桌上的匕
table,
首，
the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's
没有
nothing
别
else
的
in
东西
here.。There's definitely a mirror.
应用的声音，这里有一面
There
镜子，
isn't.
没有意思。
You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
保持沉默
I。care about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else could he be hiding from us? I'm not lying to you, I promise. There isn't a mirror. Really.
所以代表这个东西并不是一面镜子。如果既然他真的不说谎的话，所以我决定靠近镜子。
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
真的不是开玩笑的。把镜子擦干净。
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
我的
Hope
手
you
长
know
这
how
样，
ridiculous you look right now.
这是我的手，我不是人类。
But it was there a second ago.
他刚刚还在。
Now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror
都把镜
away
子拿
from
走，
us
没办
isn't
法改
going
变
to
什么。
change things, right? We'll find it
我会
again,
把它找出来，
then we'll see
看你不
whatever
想让我
it
们
is
看到
that
什
you
么。
don't want us to see.
"拿起匕首，
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
他不想让我们看到我们的脸。
Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that.
不该
Then
那
how
样
are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as
我会
long
做
as
出
you,
决定，不改变握法，
you keep your grip the way it is. Your task
任务
awaits.
正在等着你。进入地窖，
The door to the basement
这是
creaks
地
open,
窖，你跟我说这是
revealing
地
a
窖
web，of branching
这是
staircases all
SCP-087
built from
吗？
unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odor that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
这一段是多义是不是？他那个单字完全听不懂，还好有翻译。
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
OK，
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
啊，他在底下。
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you.
这是应用的声音吗？
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall.
他这边的
No
他
way
指
to
的是
go
旁白
forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success?
世界的命运寄托在你的成功。
There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
OK， 走左边难走的阶梯，走就是困难、简单、困难、普通、简单。我选择走中间的。
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircase. You concentrate on where you are. Be careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting, and so you take one careful, focused step after another. One foot, but no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is
不
the
管方向为
most
何，它
true
肯定是
path.
最真实的
Know
道路
that。much. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go.
主角轮回过很多次了，
Time disappears, and you can feel
自己的
yourself
束缚
begin to
开始松
untether.
放。我的手这是什么东西啊？
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey,
就像一个早就被
continuous
遗忘
march
的目的
forward
地。
to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as
Can I help you?
公主，
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways.
他这一段锁链看不到。
The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement.
OK，
And why are we here again? You're here to... He's just been...
你记得了，看起来很正常。选这个好了。
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
公主也不记得她在到了这里之前发生了什么，而且这次声音不一样，长相也不一样。
We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't
What?
we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
上一轮的公主，
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she
原本只有一个
fractures.
她的地方，
Where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
We can do that?
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
塞回去。
You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter?
叛逆的声音说她之前来过这里，
Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it?
这个叛逆的声音是上一轮的我们，让我可以确定了。应用的声音应该是这一轮的，现在这个拿匕首的这个位先本体，然后旁白定规则，然后我们扮演的也是一个进入他身体的类似灵魂，操控他完成任务。
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever
叛逆的
thoughts
声音是我们
reasoned
上一
their
轮
way
扮
into
演
your
的
head,
这个角色。
unthink them. If it's not already too late, you have a job to do here, and you need to do it now.
因为使命要完成，而且必须完成。
New plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
我要是带你离开这里，不知道你是什么，但无法信任你，无法信任这里的一切。这个选项同时是3个，怎么会同时触发3个啊？这个东西是代表我们自己也要分裂吗？你的数量增加了，我要问他
There
这
must
个
be。something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
这个公主好不友善，我一直在骂人。
I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
增加了。
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already
不
are.
是啊，现在有3个公主啊，感觉怎么杀都失败啊。
How would we even do that? Where would we start?
从哪边着手？
You could always start by
你随时
stabbing
可以从
her.
四小胎开始。我不要，我说不要。
Which? Her.
哪个他？
Any of them.
任何一位都
I
可
don't
以
know。about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine? I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
选择这个同时选到所有，超怪的。你叫什么名字？据我所知，你被关在这里是有理由的。你叫什么名字 ？Princess。
You can address me as Your Royal Highness or Her Majesty.
这上一
Any
轮
honor
的
it。should do, really.
It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
不管哪一个，他们都没有回答我们，而且他们都很明确的认知，知道自己是公主。
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
很显然，你会被威胁到这个世界。选这个。
Is this a quiz? You're the one who came down here.
带见到下来的
Shut
人，
But you know, right?
是
You
我一
have
见过
to
的人。
know. You're the
请接
only
触
other
这一
person
切。
I've ever seen, or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it.
这个等太久，快发疯了。
Don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
哇
Okay,
哦！
this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on
跟不上
anymore.
现在的
We
情
need to
况，
get out of here. This whole place is
这个声
making
音
me
让我
itch.
浑身发痒。如果要放你离开，我要做什？你要做什么？
I don't think I can answer that question in a
我
way
认为
you
我的
find
答案可以满足
meaningful.
你。
I just want to live my life. I'm not going to dance for you.
我打算跟你下棋
You already know what I'm going to do.
你早就知道我打算做什么了。
If you want to put an end to me,
你想了解我就了
put
解
an
我
end
吧
to。me.
Not a single real answer. At least aside from this blood and destruction, it's infuriating, isn't it? Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under? Not exactly how I'd put it, but I don't disagree. There
发
must
问
be
会让情况
something
雪
we
上
can
加
do.
霜。
This is reaching its
场面
breaking
即将
point.
失
If you
控。
don't act now, there will be nothing in here but
旁
her.
白建议我们立刻杀他，
Breath and focus up. But how do we decide what to
采取
do?
什么行
Can
动？
there even be
真的有
a
正确的选
right
择
choice
吗？
when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it.
你胡
Your
思乱
drifting
想是
thoughts have
导致
clearly
失控的
been
原
part
因。
of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her.
Slay
Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
情况只会变得更糟。只剩一个选项了，我应该是代表我自己要分裂，
Wait, that's not right.
那样不对。
Go on.
继续，
You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a
二
confident
三，
stride.
两个没有，
You can feel yourself.
感觉自己正被撕裂。果然，
The room spins, your perception multiplying in a
果然代表我们
sickening
自己分裂。
kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. All at once you charge forward, knife aiming to slay the princess just as you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone.
这个公主的表情太可怕了。这个是砍断锁链，我的锁链前面有血，
Is this what the end of the world looks like?
这是世界末日的样子，只是乱得不像样。
Terrible mess.
哇，我的匕首上沾血了。No，
But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating.
就跟如果所有事情同时都发生，就跟所有事情都没有发生是一样的。
Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever.
虚无与世间万物都不持续到永恒，
Princess collapse in on
世界公
themselves.
主都有自行崩毁，在一切
Falls apart?
瓦解之前，
I think he's gone.
旁白消失了，
We were never going to salvage this, were we?
无计可施了。
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others,
They just don't fit. They just don't fit.
一部分的我们是的，所以公主
we can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this?
Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
哇哦，
We should help her. I
我
think
想这是我们
we
该做
did
的。
this. How surprisingly
你看这么
sincere.
好心，又是那个背景。刚刚我们看到那个奇怪的背景，然后后面到底是什么东西？有个黑黑的洞，
I didn't actually think our actions had
因为我们希望产生这样的后果
consequences.。It's a little late for regret.
这后悔有点
isn't
太
it?
迟了，不是吗？
Please.
我尽力而为，不会有事的。你会的一切，什么也不说。我尽力而为，代表我要砍死他第二次吗？好吧，我尽力而为。对，刚刚一些手，有无数可能时，无可成之事。你无从得知他是否有机会听见你的答复，因为他不见，他并没有这种东西取代。 它被某种东西取代了，而且出现了一面镜子。
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
旁白也消失了。
It is. Does that mean the world ended? What are we supposed to do now?
我想我要接照镜
I'm
子。
begging you, don't do this.
这个英勇的声音现在变成旁白了，对吧？镜子以前从来没有让你们感到害怕过，
It's different now. It feels,
就要结束了。
I don't know, final.
他知道照着镜子，这一切就会结束。
Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
你靠近了镜子，这一次不是任何声音，注视着镜中的自己。他们走了，但镜子还在。这是什么啊？你独自在空无一切的空间中，四周悄然无声。前往木屋，这里有木屋吗？你在木屋前接近他，公主，你认得空壳中的存在，它栖身于夹缝空间。
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
不明物回归痕墨，它是指那个公主里面的东西。它放弃了毁灭的路径，并赠予我脆弱的躯壳，也就是公主。好多，我在森林外看到的是你吗？我以为那是梦。你是什么？赠予脆弱的躯壳，这里是末日后的世界吗？让他离开。你认识旁白吗？害我取公主性命的是你吗？就是你不让我离开这里吗？先选，她不是公主。你是什么？
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
你是什么？我不知道我是什么。
I think that you are like me.
我想你和我一样，
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
缩减为浅期的汪洋。它们是一个庞大的概念，被拉进了一个小概念里，比如，也就是所谓的降维。我在森林外看到的是你吗？我演的是梦。这个
Vague recollection,
暧昧的记忆，
empty
没有
tunnels
大口的
without
通
a
洞
mouth.
隧道。
I am sorry if I frightened you.
他说是赠予脆弱的躯壳，
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel
神经
the
纤
worlds
维，
beyond, perspectives to
经
make
我的视
my
角。
own.
这个背景是他，哦，
These ones are a contradiction,
是个矛盾，光怪
a
陆离，
winding
不同的样子。
kaleidoscope of paths and walls. They
形
are
状
stretched
不过
into a
相
shape
似，
not unlike me,
但
but
无
it is
法
a shape they cannot
维
hold.
持形状。
I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make
它
for
们可以
a
化作
rich
通
and
晓一
valuable
切
path.
的心，是指我的泰迪周末就接触到这个结局了吗？
Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
他们终于可以了解自我。你认识旁白吗？
You are the only thing I have ever known.
所以代表旁白可能是我们很多周目前的我们，就像那个英勇的声音最后变得讲话跟旁白很像一样。
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
只有我们来到了这个地方。这里是末日后的世界吗？
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
哦，说的也是。 你知道这里以外的世界吗？
I know only that they
我
are.
只知道世界存在。就是你不让我离开这里吗？
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
渴望自由。你是公主吗？
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
公主始终是你，或你夺走她的身份。
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
接下来呢？
Nothing,
你
as
们
we
什么也
are.
做不了。我们之外
But
的
I
世界，
know that there are
我们
worlds
注定前往
beyond
这些
us,
世界。
and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of
它可以
perception. She can make you forget,
消除你的记
if only
忆。
you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
我会留下多少记忆？我还需要找到多少你的碎片？如果不肯就范呢？我任务是杀死公主。如果我阻止她会，我帮助你，你会毁灭世界吗？我觉得这像轮回。听起来有点像轮回。我
More
还需要
than
找到
you
多少
have
你的记忆？
found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite.
其他人会
The
找到回
rest
家
will
的路。
find their own way home.
我的任务是杀死公主，阻止她毁灭世界。
You ask of things that cannot be
毁灭只是
done.
从
To
不看再造。
destroy is merely to reshape. To
如果我帮助你，你要做什么？
how can I know? I am flickers in
阴暗
something
漫生之物
sprawling
的光。
and unilluminated.
克苏鲁啊！我会留下多少记忆？
Everything. Until we meet again.
你不怕我找到方法杀你？
I have not
他
lived.
不是活物，也无惧死
I
亡。
am not afraid to die.
如果我不肯就范呢？
Then we will be here
我在这
forever,
里，
as we are now. Unfinished. Dry. Hollow.
等待。
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
然后存档。我就跟你耗，一直等待。
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
我觉得这边应该是它有双关意义，但是它直翻，所以变成这样。
If
那个字幕
you
看起来很
close
怪。
that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back
所
to
以才
the
回到盒子，
box
因为
because you'll always want to know
直
what
到你
it
回归
means to
我
be
的
you.
体内。
I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Return to mine， 你会回到我身边吧？回归我体内。还是这是剧透？不知道。游戏闪退了，重开。
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
我始终陪在你左右。哦，好，消除我的记忆吧。
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
续。
You won't.
黑暗降临，你身亡。通晓一切的心，送回异客。
You're on a path in the woods, and
这边前面的选项应该都没有差。
you make your way up the
没事啊，看看，刚刚前面说的是应用的声音。前往木屋。
The interior of the cabin is
不拿匕首直接进入地窖发生什么事？
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice
Hello? Is someone there?
is hypnotized. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
已经你在玩火，我只是来探望你的，是来救你。继续
Wait,
说话。
really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
我也会永远碰到这个
I
地方。
see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it
那可
might
能
work.
管用。
Come downstairs.
我
I
要
want
仔
to
细
see
看
the
看救
face
我
of
的
my
人。
rescuer.
You walk
我想被他
downstairs
杀掉一
and
次
lock
看看。
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her
这是
wrist.
第一轮的世界，
Binding her
对，
to
一
the
样的
far
场景
wall.。
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone?
这样美丽的人怎么可能构成
I
威胁？
am begging you to stay for.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
公主应该是知道楼上在发生什么事情，然后她从楼上的人的形象，就比如说拿刀不拿刀这样的形象，来诱导她主角采取她想要的行动。
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
希望你手边有工具可以解决这些锁链。
You were lying when you said you were here to
原来是在救她的。
rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake.
也不
Don't
信邪。
even try it.
直接调查锁链，先试一试看看吧，
You're only making this more
只让情
difficult.
况变得更艰难。
Thank you. Thank
You're making a huge mistake.
可以犯下天大的错误，
You're doing the right thing.
应该会死，我猜。
You walk up to the chains binding
走
the
进墙边
princess
居
to
住
the
公主的
wall
锁链后，
and
使
give
劲
them
一
a
扯，
tug. They're large and heavy.
坚固
Far
到
too
你无法
solid
想
for
象
you
能
to
破坏
even
掉它。
imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
你没有钥匙，
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
钥匙在楼上。
Whoever
不可能
locked the
说，既然
princess
公
away
主囚
down
禁在
here
地窖，
intended for her to never see
他
the
们不会
light
在
of
屋里
day.
留下来。
They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
如果没有钥匙，你有其他方法吗？
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
如果说有方法可以破坏锁链，
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can
哇，
always cut me
公
out
主
of
啊，弄断她的手挣脱，她是怀柔政策吗？
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down
我
here
们长
long
久的困在
enough,
地
I'm
窖，
sure
我甚至
we'd
只
be
要能获得
nonchalant
自由，
about cutting our way out if it meant we
我
could
们以后毫不
finally
在
be
乎地弄
free.
断手。
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door
锁
at the
扣
top
上
of
的
the
清脆
stairs
声，
slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding. Is someone else here?
木屋有其他人，试着开门，
You try the door, but it's locked
锁
from
上。折返阶梯底层，
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would
带
have
着匕
been
首可以
so
省下许
much
多功夫。
easier if you'd just taken
确
the
实。
blade like you were supposed. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam.
他们是不
They
是也
locked
把
me
你绑
down
在这
here too,
里？
didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
惊慌，
If I could just get out of these chains,
只要我能
I
挣脱锁
know
链
we could force our way out
我
of
把
here
握可以与你
together.
一起脱身。
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound
后方
comes
出
from
现声
behind
响
you.
金
The
属轻
clang
轻
of
碰撞，
bouncing metal. It's the blade
匕首
from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
解救她，
You won't like what happened.
拯救公主。
Fine.
先死一次看看，随便你。
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, you cut into her.
The blade is sharp, and it takes
刀很
little
锋利，
effort
不
to
必费
crack
力
through
即
the
可截
bone
断
of
臂
her
骨。
arm.
Her limb falls to the ground. She
中了
didn't
锁
so
链
much as utter
公主没
no.
有吭声。
She didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded
血归
arm
粒子从
dripping
伤处滴落。
rhythmically to the ground.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she
Thank you.
我们才应该离
Now
开这里
let's。get out of here.
好，走吧，朋友。接近上锁的门，
No, we won't have any of that. The
不
stakes
会
are
放任
too
她逃往
high.
人世。
You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the
哦
world.，
总算不如真面目了，是吧，旁白？
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your
Hey.
body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you
做
doing?
什么？警告公主，
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
应该会死
You
掉。
know you don't have to do this, right?
你不必这么做，对吧？
Your body lunges
Hey.
forward, the blade held low, ready to sink
像她的
into
心
her heart.
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade
不
has
让
a
匕首
chance to
接触到
connect.
她。
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
离
The
开。
blade. Move the blade.
As your body remains frozen in
公主谨慎地
stubborn
靠近。
resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both
你我都
know
知道你
this
身不由己。
isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
我们尽快解决。
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
还
You
活
aren't
着。
dead.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Stay
sorry.
strong. We can tough it for her sake. Don't whatever. She sinks the blade.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound. It won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
粉色的泪。
Can't just end like this. Oh, that's rich coming from you.
你看
As
公
much
主
as I
做出了选
prefer
择，
for
一切都
things
结
to
束
have
了
gone。differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
第二章少女，
You're on a path in the woods,
反
and
目
at
的
the
比
end
较
of
有
that
为公
path
主。
is a cabin. You're here to slay. A warning. Before she will lie. If only you knew what you did to us, you
痴情
villain.
的声音。果然，你看这个第二轮出现的新的声音，就是上一轮的我们。
Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He is trying to keep us apart.
上次我
but
们
he
做了恋爱
won't
脑
be
的
able
行
to
为，所以
withstand
就
the
出现一个恋爱脑的
power
声
of
音。
love. Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him.
英勇的声音疑似知道周牧继承的事，旁白不知道。
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not
不
everyone
必搞
needs
到
to
很
hear
尽
them.
解释，有些事情
Some
别说
things
出
are
来
better。kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind.
前往木。
The interior of the
又有
cabin
镜子。
is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries. A prison, the blade is...
靠近镜子，
You walk up to the wall What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
把镜子擦干净。
You reach forward and rub your hand against the... But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
进入地窖，一样不拿匕首。
The door to the basement creaks open.
上次是
revealing
叛
an
逆的灵
intricate
魂，所以我们来到一个叛逆的灵魂，可能
Gold
是指
trimmed carpet
因为我
glimmers
一
in
直
the light of the
唱反调
torches positioned along the walls.
痴情的灵魂，就是
The
很符合
basement
公主
woman,
的
a soft voice carries up the
地窖。
stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing what we don't even know the princess. We can still do yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in
她的
love.
魅力是上头有钱的一个。
Just remember, you walk down the
你看
stairs and
衣
lock
服都
eyes
变
with the
了，
princess.
笑死
There's a heavy chain around her wrist. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you.
She may not be able to hear my words.
Oh, your spirit's plenty
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you
我
wouldn't
还
come
担
back.
心你不回来了。他知道上一轮哦，
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
That's right, villain. And you
Salo.
killed... Well, she killed. Only because he made us try and kill her.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to a...
We damned a whole world.
Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep...
这一次没有杀死公主的选项，全部都只能选。选地对跟公主本身的对话可能没有太大的意义。前面几个，我死后发生了什么？好了，
You died, and now we're talking.
好，这个公主不演了是不是？
I don't know. Was I supposed to have?
Isn't that just like our darling?
Are you listening to...
我不想要世界毁灭，我对世界毁灭毫无感觉。
At least you're being honest.
I can't believe...
The princess shifts in uncomfortable.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for... If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would...
选这个是最有攻击性的选项。
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm
咬
off.
手啊，公主！
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists.
What? No, she's a prisoner here.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay. She didn't care last time. Why should she
因为我
care
们这
this
次
time?
话外音。
That's our stoic, smiling aim. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior.
简单来说，旁白这个极端选项只会要求我们去杀死公主，然后那个他会根据我们上一轮的选项产生一个新的人格，这个新的人格是更极端的选项，跟旁白选择另外一种极端，然后英勇的声音就他当他们两个中间的中间人，大概是这种感觉吧。
if another version of me was pushed to such
偏激的行
drastic
动也是
action,
有
it
充
was
分
for
的
good
理由。
reason.
That's okay. You were just doing.
She took that in stride. That's because you think she has someone like him telling her what to do. She doesn't. I think he's right, because I like it.
I'm sorry.
这不是
Didn't
你
you
要
want
我
me?
做的。
Did we warned her of the cruel force. She made the best decision.
只能选择拯救公主了。
No, I can't let you do
你再
that.
向
If you
公主
take
踏出
another
任何一
step
步，我
towards
就
the prince, you'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain
还有必了解我们的生
and
命。
death. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her
我
binding.
完
I
蛋了，
can't
我
believe
会
it.
我也只
I
能接受。
told you.
真是
There's
挺
no
痛的
life.
I'm free. And you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank
真
you.
的很谢
Thank
谢
you。so much.
The princess jumps up. If only you had a weapon. One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out
我
there
们所有
would
人也
be
能因此得
saved.
救。
Luckily for Mr.
那么现在
Romance,
幸好
we
我
don't
们
have
没
a
有
weapon.
武器。
Who needs a weapon when we have
爱
the
情
power
才
of
需要
love
武
on
器。
our side?
What do we do now?
你想做什
Let
么？
me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of some.
I don't
so
actually
bizarre.
know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she
他甚至不
wants.
清楚自己想要什么。
You may have had it all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? So gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
吵起来，
I
吵起来
think！I want to leave.
我应该想离开
And
吧，
I
让我想
think
毁灭世界。
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to
Entonces-
do?
如果你想离开，那我们就走吧
That。sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need
我
the
们拥有彼
world
此，
for
不
our
需要
happy
这个
ending.
世界。
I like to think that you do, actually.
我也真心希望
Look,
如
I
此。
have my doubts, but the choice has been made, and this I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse. You love blind. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
开的，
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here?
现在我们应该离
That's
开
not fair.。
对，
She's right. It isn't fair. But enough with this truth. Of course you wouldn't
我们热
understand.
情实
I'm
在下来
listening
深
to
刻
this.。You don't have to go along with the every whim of that. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
"如果我们一起努力，应该打得开。
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And
And
the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and...
Ayo.
Blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
too late，你并不打算这么
Enjoying
做。
this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you. You know, if her walking out that door is really gonna end the world,
我们待在这里就好，这结局似乎对每个人都好，都轻松
seems。like an easy win for everyone.
我觉得我大概猜到所谓世界毁灭是什么意思。这个故事如果到了尽头，没有旁白，也没有这些声音，那这一轮的周末世界就是毁灭。所以世界毁灭的意思应该是这一轮的游戏结束，
That's not how this works.
这样违反规
Yes,
则。
what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
找了 happy ending， 离开吧，
Yes, I
毁
suppose
灭
you
吧。
are going to do that, aren't you?
穿过
Cross the room,
房间，开
opening
启
the
小木
door
屋
to
的
the
门。
cabin, and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it! What should we do now?
Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noted.
I'm cold.
幸福感是这么冷的吗？
Cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a...
啊！
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we
我们就
try
试着
and
找
find
她
her?。Is that a...
镜子。第一
What
个
is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels do
手
it
这么着
then. End us all before I...
靠近镜子。你肿胀。
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an Eyes close and reflect. Perspectives meld together, and the
我的
breadth
本
of
性
my
存在矛盾
experience
冲突，也有时候
stretches
去
to
连
new
接着所有的
corners.
性质，
There are it feels
这些感觉
correct.
很正确，是
This
前
is
进的路
what。I need to be.
我回去之后，仿佛有道看不见的墙围绕着我，我无法做到的事，或者无法重现。
Those paths lead to worlds you've already
这些
seen,
路径对我们已
and to
经
perspectives
益
I
处
have
封
already
闭，
made
只有
my
未曾
own.
踏足的路才重要。
They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
这个公主的目的是让你轮回，然后不断的接触每一轮新的公主，走出不同结局。你对我比见过其他人温柔，谢谢。
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. I'm sorry.
言辞是个
Words
难题。
are. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
你希望我之后带来什么礼物？
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy isn't seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
一切结束后，你知道要做什么吗？
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths.
讲这么复杂，
What
其
I
实就
will
是
be is different
我
from
每一
what I
次
am.
每一次
What
打
I
出的新
am
结
is
局，
different from what I was.
都会被它整并成一部分。
I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle
你诱
heart.
使他爱你，所以他可以化作温柔的心。
Do not mourn
被
her.
爱到，他的责任
She
已了
has。served her purpose.
对于改变或成长，你有没有偏好的方向？应该答案是没有。
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot.
因为他刚刚也说了，我们已经选过的选项，它会自动排除掉，所以我一定会选。我不管怎么往下走，我最后一定会走到新的结局。我曾经伤害我带来的这些躯壳。
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
我会依然故我。
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side.
我还要带来多少躯壳？
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
完整之后，
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
我准备好回去了。
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
黑暗降临，你身亡了。温柔的心。The hero and the
You're on a
princess.
path in the woods.
啊 ，OK。今天先到这边。累了。标题意思是什么？你先小吉。我没有看，我刚刚我没有看到你们留言，可恶！主播今天怎么没开视讯 ？Game over。我觉得还蛮好玩的，只是我觉得应该我应该还差很远，因为这个游戏总共有103个，如果没看错的话，它有103个成就，我到目前为止只打出5个。所以就慢慢玩吧，我编辑一下。所以这一次最特别的应该是异客结局，我应该记这个就好了。OK， 先到这边啦，之后见，拜拜，好嘞。